burdens of having long hair problems. Anyway, today's video is going to be about the no makeup look. And working at Sephora, I really come to find that most women, I'd say 90% of women, don't have the time in the morning to really sit down and just do like this crazy full face makeup look that maybe a younger generation is more into. I really appreciate that, and I want to make a video towards those people who maybe don't have that in them to really find it necessary to learn these crazy like techniques and stuff, because actually the no makeup look is actually probably one of the hardest things to achieve, since so much technique is required to achieve it. I really appreciate that. And plus, there's just some days where you don't want to do all that, you know, or you just don't feel like it. You just don't feel like it. You don't feel like sitting down knowing that it's gonna take you an hour to do your makeup and it might not even turn out right. So I have a I have a blank canvas right now, and it is very important before you start your face that it is properly cleansed and exfoliated and hydrated. I have cleansed, I exfoliated, and I put my SPF protection on. So I'm totally bare-faced. Ooh, and I dyed my hair. You guys like it? Oh my gosh. For realistic women who are getting ready for work, I do suggest you wear a primer. It is a crime not to prime. Your primer is just like you'd prime a wall before you paint it. I've said this in many tutorials, and I don't mind saying it time after time because, in my opinion, it is a very essential step. Something that moisturizer does not give you full-heartedly. So it's just gonna add longevity to your makeup. It's gonna smooth out texture. It's gonna give the makeup something to grab onto to just give you a more finished look without trying, and that is our whole goal. The primer I love to use for longevity, for water resistance, transfer resistance, for smoothing, for non-pore clogging is the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. It is an oil-free primer and it's white, and I will say it is not great for more darker skin tones up into the ebony tones. I'm really sorry, it's not. I'll be honest with you, but there are other great primers. And a suggestion, just one suggestion would be Makeup Forever HD Primer in number 6. It has a yellow tint to it, which will help a darker skin tone get a more glowy effect and still give you longevity and all those other aspects of a primer. I love this primer though, so I'm gonna use that. You just need one pump. Usually your primer you don't need a lot of. It is not for hydration. You just need one pump to get you through. I'm gonna warm it up with my fingertips, and we're gonna start in the center of our face and just really smooth it out very gently. We don't need to rub it in like a moisturizer. It's meant to smooth surface, so we wanna give it that direction, at the smoothing direction. You usually need most of it in the center. So that's where I'm really concentrating it, and then diffusing it towards the outskirts of the face. The next thing I'm gonna use is a little bit of a hybrid product, I guess you could say. It's by Philosophy. It's called No Reason to Hide. There's two colors. There's medium, which I have, and there's light. And it isn't a foundation, but it isn't a tinted moisturizer. They specify it as a instant skin tone perfecting moisturizer. So it is oil free. It does have a broad spectrum of 20. It's got the Philosophy on it because, you know, Philosophy always has like a little saying. Mirror, mirror, what do I see? A truly confident reflection of me. That's so cute. It says, discover our first multitasking moisturizer that instantly perfects the uneven areas with a radiant, natural looking finish. So it says you can use as your daily moisturizer, or you can use it how I'm going to use it, because I've already hydrated. I've put my primer on, and I'm gonna do a pump and a half. It has a tint to it, and I'm gonna use my fingers. The tools you need are your fingers, the free tools of the world. And we're just gonna kind of warm it up, and I'll sit closer so you can just see what it means by skin perfecting. So we're just gonna press this on the face and I'm pressing it on so we get some maximum absorption. You can put it around the eyes, that's fine. Put a little down the neck. But you can see what I mean by a skin perfector. It's not covering, it's not giving me coverage like a tinted moisturizer, but it's not clear. It's just very different, and I like it because it's light and it's quick and it's easy, and it really just evens you out. It just evens out your skin tone is the best way I can describe it. But the trick to having a no makeup look is really the layers that you are applying and how you're applying them. If you're just gunking on your product and not really taking an extra minute to just make sure it's absorbed properly in nice thin layers, you end up overwhelming the skin. And then it separates and it cakes and it's not pretty. It just kind of ends up melting off the face. I use the Skin Perfector all over just to even out skin tone. And then for additional coverage, I use a concealer. For additional coverage, I use a concealer. And then this way, we're putting it just where we want it instead of all over, giving us a more realistic finish that's not makeup-y looking and that wears better and that's more comfortable. So I've evened out my skin tone with No Reason to Hide in medium. And the concealer I'm using is... oh, what the heck is this called? It's called Nude Stix. It's at Sephora, it's new, and this is medium 5. But all I do is put this, I like that it comes in a stick because it's easier to apply. But I just kind of put it in the triangle of light just to brighten and just to help conceal dark circles. I mostly put it in the center of my face. And then if I have a zit, like I have right here, just poke it. So you can see where I've placed it. And then to blend it out, free tools, I just use my fingers and I just gently press it in. Very gently. But it just melts right in and it's a nice sheer coverage. And I'm getting additional coverage where I need it without it looking makeup-y. And I put it in the center because usually, actually, probably about 95% of the time, the coverage is needed most in the center where our pores are the largest. Next I'm going to use Hourglass Illume Sunset Bronzer and Blush. And it is a cream to powder, and I really like using cream to powder for a more natural finish. It just looks more natural on the skin than a powder. But we want to do this before we apply our setting powder. So I'm taking a Sephora Pro Flawless Airbrush Brush number 56 into the bronzer. And we kind of, I wouldn't say we want this heavy, but we want it to be a little more than usual because we're going to put powder over it, which will diffuse it. So what we want to do is put the bronzer on the highest parts of our face, just like that. And without pressing hard, I'm really just moving the brush in a circular motion on the highest parts of our cheeks very gently into the hairline, just to blend that out. And so you get very subtle warmth. And you don't want to go too low, so just blend that out. And then we want to go in the center of the forehead. And a little on the nose. I do the sides of my nose, but you can do the top if you want. And then we'll do the other cheekbone. If you want to learn the placement of your bronzer and contour, you can watch my bronzer versus contour video and I explain the gist of it. But essentially you want to put your bronzer high on the highest parts of your cheekbones, not too low. Then just on my wrist, I'm going to wipe off the residue of the bronzer, and I'm going to go in with the, what's this called? Blush. And very little is needed, but we're going to dot it right on the apples of our cheeks, very lightly. Just like so. And then once you've reached your desired intensity with your bronzer and your blush, if you used a cream, I'm going to take the Hourglass Ambient Luminous Light Finishing Powder, which is my favorite. I love it. It's so pretty. I'm going to use a Pro Precision powder brush by Sephora, number 59. We're just going to go in there and we're going to roll it onto the skin. And I'm rolling it so we don't take off the bronzer. Or you can like press it in if you want to. And this is just going to set the makeup. And I really love this powder because you just get the most beautiful glowy finish. Like, you can see the difference. It's just really pretty. It's not heavy. It's not powdery looking. And it's not flat. I am oily. I'm an oily complexion, but I don't like to be flat like what a matte would give me. I want to look glowy. So the ambient lighting powders really help you achieve that without it being reflective and overbearing. And then this step is totally optional, but I like to have a little shape with my brow. So I'm going to take the Hourglass brow sculpting pencil, and it's in dark brunette. Ugh. And I'm just going to very gently and softly accentuate my brows just a bit. Whoa, my little Daisy baby's causing some mischief. And then I'm just gonna brush it through. And then the next thing I like to do is curl my eyelashes. Oh, Deja! Deja, be quiet! You guys wanna meet Deja? Come here! Oh, say hello, people! Oh, this is Deja. We adopted her, isn't she cute? Oh, I love you. I love you. Oh. Okay, bye. The next thing I like to do is curl my eyelashes because I am part Asian, so my eyelashes go like down. Most women don't have that problem, so I'm just gonna do that real quick. If you do have that problem, curling your eyelashes can make a huge difference. And if you plan on marrying mascara, just make sure it's a good one. Just kidding. If you plan on wearing mascara, then you want to make sure that you wear an eye primer. So I like to use, for this no makeup look, I like to use one that color corrects the eyelid, because then it looks like you have like a brightening eyeshadow on or something, but you don't. And it also helps prevent your mascara from running or smearing. So the one that I'm going to use is the Tarte CC Colored Clay CC Eye Primer. And it comes in one universal color. It's like a really peachy tone. But I'm going to use that all over my lid. And a little bit here and a little bit on the outer corner. And just gently rub it out with my finger. And I enjoy using waterproof mascaras. You totally don't have to, but I just find that they last longer. I don't have to do as much. They don't run as fast. So I'm using Urban Decay Cannonball waterproof mascara. Alright, and the last step is lips. I'm a huge fan of wearing lip glosses on my day off, but if you're looking for something a little more long wearing, you can totally do that too. One I really love to wear just on an everyday basis, just for this like a no makeup look. I like the Tarte Lipsurgence in Exposed. It's just like a pinky brown. It's really the facet of most lip colors, and it just gives a nice little pinky pop, but with a sheen. See, it just a little naturalness, and it smells so good. Alright, so there you have it. There's our no makeup look, and it just looks polished and refined, but not heavy. It looks like real skin. It's comfortable, it's gonna be long wearing, and it's just one and done. So it took a little longer just explaining it, but really when I do it myself without having to explain each step, it literally takes me 15 minutes to do my makeup. It's really awesome. Play around. This isn't verbatim. You don't have to do this verbatim to achieve this, but this is just so you know the idea of it, how to achieve it. And if you have any questions, please let me know. If I missed something or if you want to know about a certain product, I'm at your mercy, and I love you guys. I hope that my videos help you to learn to love yourselves as who you are, and just know that makeup is an accentuation of your creativity and your individuality. It doesn't make you who you are. So just remember that makeup is just an extension of yourself. It shouldn't change who you are completely, and you shouldn't have to feel like you rely on it to feel good about yourself. Although I will say that if you look good, you feel good, and if you feel good, you play good. So I just hope that my love comes through the camera to you guys, because I love you and I want you to love yourselves. I love you.